Critically evaluating your organisation. Unit 2, Lesson 6. In this lesson, we will recap on what was learned throughout Unit 2. We will critically evaluate your organisation's learning culture, and we will identify an assignment to enable you to apply what you've learned throughout the unit. In Lessons 1 to 5, we learned the key characteristics for an effective learning culture that facilitates problem-based learning. It is important to apply these criteria to your own organisation. We saw a learning culture requires trust, communication and support. It needs individuals to articulate their mental models and critically evaluate them. It needs to encourage people to look at the impact of their work on other areas of the business and focus on developing self-directed learners that construct their own knowledge. Also, collaborative learning and creating opportunities for reflection and corrective action should be prevalent throughout the organisation. Critically evaluating your organisation. Based on these characteristics, it's important to practice what you've learned. This lesson will encourage you to apply these to critically evaluate your learning culture and how it can be improved. To do this, we can ask questions about the organisation in the context of the characteristics discussed throughout this unit. The proposed questions will require you to evaluate the following characteristics of your organisation and determine how it can be improved. Is trust prevalent in your organisation? Are individuals encouraged to identify their mental models and reflect on how these can be improved? Is communication and support encouraged? Critical evaluation. First of all, we look at trust. Trust. You need to identify if people can openly discuss their mistakes to allow them to learn from them. Do people view problems as an opportunity to learn, or do they feel threatened? Do people treat each other with respect? Do people spend time getting to know each other? Is everybody treated as equal, regardless of their rank, culture, or differences? Reflection. Are people encouraged to ask why, regardless of where they are in the organisation? Does the organisation encourage people to think holistically from a global perspective and the impact their actions have on other individuals? Are people encouraged to explain the reasons for making decisions? Communication. Do people give open and honest feedback to each other? Do people listen to each other's views before speaking? Whenever people state their view, do they also ask other people for their opinion? Does the organisation encourage everyone to bring the customer's views to the decision-making process? Does the organisation use two-way communication on a regular basis? Support. Do people help each other? Are they encouraged to work in teams? Does the organisation consider the impact of decisions made on employee morale? Does the organisation highlight people that have taken initiative? Does the organisation give people control over the resources they need to accomplish their work? Does the organisation support employees who take risks? This assignment is concerned with allowing you to apply what you've learned throughout the unit. For the assignment, you must conduct a critical evaluation of the learning culture of your organisation. You must interview or survey 3 people. These can be people in different job roles or people at different levels in the organisation. You can use the previous question set we discussed in this lesson to apply to your company if you wish, or you can develop your own based on what you've learned in Lessons 1 to 5. Once you've conducted the survey or interviews, you need to report your findings. This needs to detail how you gathered the data, why you gathered the data in this way. So for example, you might have decided to use questionnaires rather than interviews because they allowed some anonymity on behalf of the users. You need to identify what question you asked and why you chose these questions. From this, you need to develop a learning culture strategy on the measures you will use to foster a learning culture in your organisation. You need to detail why these measures are important in relation to the research you conducted. You also need to outline how they'll be implemented and why they will be implemented in this way. The next unit will look at how to select a suitable problem for problem-based learning.